Time to look at the real estate market, try to draw some conclusion. Where are we? What's going on? Where are we heading? The main things that I use to look at the market. I'm specifically in Las Vegas, but to look at what's going on with the market, the main tool that I use is the inventory. Simply put, the when the inventory is high, the market is cold, it's harder to sell. When the inventory is low, the market is hot and a lot of activity and a lot of demand usually. And so that's the main indicator. It's very affected by the interest rate. So as you can see, this is interest rate in the last 5 years. So you can see we were at 3%. This was a boiling hot market. And here, beginning of 2022, and really by the end of 22, we jumped so much from 3% to 6.9%. And that had a tremendous effect on the market. Let me show you. So you can see by the inventory, you see how the beginning of 2022, it was insanely low inventory. Basically less than a month supply of inventory. It was crazy hot market, and how effective it is when you increase the interest rate. So you see, if we went from this in the beginning of 2022 to this is end of 22. We went, look at this, even before that. It's like 3x or more the amount of inventory. And therefore, you can see months of supply went from less than a month to over 3 months within that year. So that's how it correlates. Now, we've been stuck at this over 6% for a long time. I didn't know it was that long. I didn't know the peak was almost 2 years ago. Doesn't sound right. I was sure it was maybe a year. But anyway, that's what this graph shows. But we've been at this higher, it's not really high historically, but higher than here for a while now. And it has a great effect on the market. And you can see, the inventory has been climbing and climbing and climbing this year. It has peaked back in October, but it's a little deceiving. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. And the month of inventory is very high. Month of inventory means basically you see how many houses on the market, you see how many we're selling every month. This number is really, really bad, really low. And then you say, okay, if no new house came on the market and we sold this many per month, it'll take us 4 point whatever, even 5 here, months to sell out the entire inventory. So it's 5 months is pretty high. It means it's a cold market. Anyway, you can see that from October, we are going down in inventory. So it's like it peaked in October 16 here. It did go above that, but I didn't record it, and then it went back down. But you can see that since then, the numbers seem to be going down. So that looks good. But when you dig into the details, you'll see the lower priced houses. This is between 0 and 200,000. Yes, we have those in Las Vegas. Usually it's condos and small, But in any event, that number is actually increasing. And I feel it because I have condos for sale and they're not moving. 2 to 300 also going up. So you can see really, and then finally the 3 to 400s were starting to decrease a little. No, actually, we kind of flat. And then 4 to 500 starting to decrease slightly. And 500 and up, that's where we've seen the decrease in inventory. So, but, and so that's what's going on. So it seems like our inventory is going down in the last few months. But I can tell you, it's typical to the end of the year, and especially when you see it's the bigger houses, the more expensive houses, people are taking their time off and they're actually removing their listings. So let's say $1 million house is sitting on the market. It's been sitting for 3 months. The seller says we're going into the winter. Let's just take it off the market. I don't know what they do with the house, but it just sits, and they say we'll list it again either in January or towards the spring. Historically, the spring is when it's things start to heat up. So I think that's what's going on. People, I think it's not a real reduction in inventory. It's a temporary thing because of the end of the year, and more in the bigger houses or the more expensive houses. The smaller ones are just sitting there, and they are still climbing in inventory. So not too bright. What we're seeing, I don't have the great news. The only thing that I keep looking at is the interest rate. If we can finally get the interest rate back into the fives and hopefully the lower fives, I think that's when we're going to start to see things moving. I hear Trump talking about it. He really wants to get that done. Um, the Fed chair Powell is standing in Trump's way to getting that done. So, but he's going to be out of office. I don't remember now, like April or May, I think, of next year. So that's the worst case scenario. Uh, Keep following this. I'm jumping here every now and then to give updates on the market. And if you want to learn from me how to do rehabbing of houses, contact me, and you can go to the Sten store and book some time.